Charlie Woods, just 16 years old and the son of a golfing legend, stepped into a moment that was entirely his own. No father by his side, no cameras in his face, just raw pressure. If you didn't catch it live, you missed one of the coldest, clutch performances of the year. This wasn't about hype, it was pure heart. 3 players entered, but only one would walk away with a golden ticket. It all began with a calm first swing, but what unfolded during that playoff stunned everyone. Charlie's performance didn't just turn heads, it may have rewritten the junior golf narrative entirely. When the playoff began at Eagle Trace, no one expected it to come down to 3 names, 1 number, and nerves of steel. Charlie Woods, Matthew Morelliano, and Oscar Crowe all finished regulation tied at 171, a score that screamed grit and survival, not just skill. Eagle Trace wasn't kind that day. The Florida heat was punishing, the greens were slick and unforgiving, and the pressure was suffocating. Charlie's front 9 was steady, but his back 9 was a masterclass in resilience. Smart pars, a laser approach on 15, and a clutch birdie on 17 pulled him into contention. It wasn't flashy, it was surgical. Morelliano played like a machine, consistent and unshakable, while Oscar Crowe, the underestimated underdog, fought tooth and nail to stay in the game. But what Charlie did next, no one saw it coming, and it might just change everything. Within striking distance and navigating bunkers and fast greens with remarkable control, 3 young competitors, each with their own backstory, marched toward the same finish line. By the time they reached the 18th hole, it was clear no one was backing down. Every swing, every putt, every club choice carried weight. The final holes weren't about scorecards anymore, they were about heart. This was where talent collided with tension, where 3 swings could mean glory or heartbreak. The favorites had faded. All that remained were fighters. Pressure didn't crush them, it carved the moment into something unforgettable. Every stroke declared, "I belong here." They weren't just playing golf, they were wrestling with fate, and fate doesn't believe in ties. This playoff wasn't a twist of luck, it was always coming. So what happened when they stepped into sudden death? The playoff hole wasn't just a decider, it was a crucible. No do-overs, no room for nerves, no legends to lean on. The Florida sun dipped low over Eagle Trace, casting long shadows as tension thickened in the heat. The crowd edged closer. Phones were raised, coaches faded into the background. All attention focused on one medium-length par 4, simple on paper, but unforgiving in pressure. Miss left, you're buried. Go long, you're done. Charlie, Matthew, and Oscar stood shoulder to shoulder, but in the silence between them, everything was loud. 3 bags, 3 swings, 1 shot at legacy. Morelliano teed off first, solid contact, but not perfect. His approach, bold and aggressive, drifted left and settled on the fringe. Crowe followed, his tee shot solid, but his second ballooned in the swirling wind. Crowe's shot landed well short of pin high, decent, but not enough to apply pressure. Then came Charlie. No hesitation, no nerves, just ice in his veins. He striped a pure tee shot down the center, walked calmly to his ball, exchanged a quiet read with his caddy, and delivered a soft, high fade for his approach 1 bounce, 2 feet from the flag. When his ball stopped rolling, the entire crowd fell silent. According to Reuters, it was the kind of shot you'd expect from a seasoned pro, not a 16-year-old. Golf Digest called it a fearless swing in a fear-filled moment. Morelliano missed his birdie, so did Crowe, but Charlie, he tapped in. No celebration, no drama, just surgical execution. It wasn't flashy, it was final. He didn't overpower the moment, he outthought it. 2 swings, 1 read, and a memory permanently etched into that green. This wasn't just a birdie, it was a mic drop. Charlie didn't win with distance, he won with decisions. That flag didn't just mark the hole, it marked the moment. He didn't flinch, he finished. 1 hole, 1 birdie, 1 woods, and the golf world left stunned. The crowd gasped. The playoff was over, but the story just beginning. Charlie didn't walk off that green, he walked into headlines. CBS Sports called it a clinic in composure. NBC Sports took it further. Charlie Woods just gave us a glimpse of his father's mental game. Calm, cold, complete. And yes, Digger was there, quietly behind the ropes. No fist pumped, no shout, just one signature nod and a smirk. A father's approval, a lifetime in a glance. This wasn't just a playoff, it was a statement. Charlie Woods is no longer just the son of, he's now the one to watch. This wasn't about a name anymore, it was about a mindset. For Matthew Morelliano, it ended in heartbreak, not failure. His round was strong, his playoff fearless, and though he didn't claim the win, he earned respect as the alternate for the U.S. Junior Amateur. He was inches from glory, and that sting won't fade soon. Oscar Crowe, same story, solid performance, but not enough when the lights were hottest. Golf is unforgiving. It remembers the one who finishes, not the ones who almost did. And in that moment, Charlie Woods stopped chasing and started commanding. Tiger didn't raise a shadow, he raised a storm. The gallery didn't erupt, they froze, there was no cheer, just clarity. Charlie didn't speak, he delivered. He didn't celebrate, he confirmed. That playoff didn't just qualify a player, it announced a force. The juniors took notice. Coaches started whispering, and Charlie, he's already locked in on what's next. Dallas. He didn't just survive, birdie was the finish line, you haven't been paying attention. From July 21st to 26th, all eyes shift to Trinity Forest Golf Club in Dallas, Texas for the U.S. Junior Amateur Championship. It's where the fairways narrow, the spotlight intensifies, and legends begin. Charlie won't just be another name on the bracket, he'll be the name, the one with legacy stitched into his glove, the one everyone wants to beat. He'll go head-to-head against the nation's top juniors, champs, rising stars, and future college golf elites. No easy wins, no hiding, just pressure, precision, and a chance to prove that what happened at Eagle Trace wasn't a moment. It was the beginning of something far bigger. Charlie Woods is no longer just the son of a legend, he's now the story of what's next. This isn't about fame, it's about fire. In Dallas, legacy doesn't buy you a mulligan. The bracket won't care about his last name, but the gallery sure will. There are no warm-ups for destiny at Trinity Forest. Every misstep echoes louder. Every matchup is a test. When the 2025 U.S. Junior Amateur Championship teed off, the air wasn't just thick with summer heat, it was heavy with anticipation. Over 250 of the nation's top juniors showed up to compete. But the buzz, the whispers, the lens of every camera followed one name: Charlie Woods, fresh off his AJA playoff birdie win in Coral Springs. He wasn't just another player, he was the headline. Golf Digest called it the most anticipated debut in junior golf in recent memory. Spectators packed the ropes. Social media lit up, and just beyond the ropes, a familiar silhouette loomed: Tiger Woods, arms crossed, hat low, saying, "Nothing but watching everything." When Tiger steps inside the ropes, the world pays attention, but Charlie wasn't there riding coattails. He had battled through qualifiers, carried pressure like a pro, and turned heads with flashes of elite-level skill. This wasn't nepotism. This was earned. Still, the moment was massive. NBC Sports called it a pressure cooker disguised as a tee box. Charlie's face said it all: focused, composed, but bracing for impact. And while his opening swing was solid, what followed unraveled fast, because the storm that day wasn't in the sky, was inside his game. From the first hole on, the round spiraled. The front nine was a collapse. The back nine didn't recover, and when the scorecard was signed, it read like a gut punch: 81-11, over par. Tied for 242nd out of 244, not just a bad day, a brutal fall. This wasn't a stumble. It was a freefall. 4 early double bogeys shattered any hope of rhythm. Charlie's drives veered into thick rough, approach shots overshot the greens, and chips came up short. Every swing looked like a desperate search for control that never arrived. Golf Monthly didn't sugarcoat it, calling Charlie's path an uphill task before day 2 even began. And when analysts start writing you off mid-tournament, you know the wheels are coming off. By the turn, he was already 8 over. His body language said more than the leaderboard ever could. YAHOO Sports captured the moment: a glance up at Tiger, then quickly back down. No eye contact, no reaction. Just a 15-year-old crumbling under the weight of golf's biggest junior stage, with the game's most iconic figure silently standing 5 yards away. Still, Charlie kept grinding. A few birdie looks came and went. One dropped, but momentum never showed up. More missed fairways, more missed greens, and longer walks with shoulders sagging a little more each time. When he reached the 18th, Charlie looked less like a rising star and more like a kid looking for an exit. The question wasn't can he win. It became, can he survive this? NBC Sports and WFAA crunched the numbers, and the stats painted a brutal picture. He ranked in the bottom percentile for fairways hit, scrambling, and recovery, turning every missed shot into a bigger problem. The driver, usually a strength, abandoned him. The putter didn't save him either. Lip-outs, short misses, long attempts with no chance. He averaged more strokes per green than almost anyone else in the 264-player field. It was a mechanical and mental unraveling that no last name could protect him from. By the end of day 1, Charlie Woods stood at plus 11 12 strokes off the match play cut line. His second round, a 74 plus 3, showed composure and improvement, but it was far too little, far too late. Final score, plus 14. The cut was plus 2, a gap the size of a canyon. Immune to reputation, legacy, or past heroics. In a field built on potential, Charlie's tournament became a cautionary tale. NBC Sports didn't hold back, calling it one of the most high-profile exits, not because of how low he finished, but because of how high expectations had been. The spotlight wasn't earned, it was inherited. And golf doesn't care who your dad is, it only cares about the numbers you post. Charlie's told a hard truth: he wasn't ready, not this time. But here's the twist: he's bounced back before Coral Springs, the playoff. The nerves, the cold-blooded birdie, he's done it. But this wasn't Coral Springs. This was louder, hotter, harsher. This was national TV. This was Tiger Woods walking in silence beside you. The challenge now isn't about making cuts, it's about making peace with failure. Because this moment doesn't end with a cheer or a comeback, it ends with questions. Is this the start of something greater, or the humbling every champion in the making must endure? His scorecard is finished, but his real test, that's just beginning. and as the Texas sun scorched Trinity Forest on day 2, the most intense pressure wasn't from the heat, it was radiating from one silent figure watching from the gallery: Tiger Woods.